Hello, students. It's nice to see you again, and it's winter time, which means it's getting a little cold. I got my long sleeve flannel shirt on, and I'm trying to stay warm this winter. It's December now, and that means that the many holidays are coming to America. And as an American, I love celebrating those holidays. Thanksgiving just finished, and I had a lovely dinner with my wife and daughter. Coming soon is Christmas, which is what today's topic is about. After that is New Year's, which is also an awesome holiday, which Japanese people also celebrate. So that's something we can celebrate together. But today we are going to focus on Christmas and specifically some Christmas decorations, the main Christmas decoration. So let's get started in today's video. It's called Rockefeller Center Christmas Tree. Winter is here and December has started. That means many Americans and other Westerners are looking forward to the Christmas season coming up on the 25th. When you think of Christmas, what kind of decorations do you think of? I think the first thing most people think of is the Christmas tree. The tradition of the Christmas tree started in Germany in the 16th century, where Protestant Christians used to bring trees into their homes and decorate them to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Since then, it has become a symbol for Christmas for Christians and non-Christians as well. One of the largest and most famous Christmas tree displays happens in downtown New York City, in Manhattan, at Rockefeller Center. The tree is put in place annually, every mid-November, and lit in a public ceremony on the Wednesday evening following Thanksgiving. Since 1997, the lighting has been broadcast live to hundreds of millions on NBC's Christmas in Rockefeller Center telecast. The tree lighting ceremony is aired at the end of every broadcast, following live entertainment. The tree is lit by the current mayor of New York City and special guests. An estimated 125 million people visit the attraction each year. The tree remains in place until a few days after New Year's. The history of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree goes back to 1931, after the completion of the building of Rockefeller Center. During the Great Depression, John D. Rockefeller wanted to revitalize downtown Manhattan and begin a project to build 3 buildings and a center square for townspeople. The square was finished in the winter of 1931, and after the square was cleared, the construction workers put their money together to buy a small Christmas tree, only about 6 meters tall, I think. So not so big. 6 meters sounds big, but it's not so big. Okay, so let me continue reading. After the square was cleared, the construction workers put their money together to buy a small Christmas tree. The workers decorated the tree with strings of cranberries, garlands of paper, and even a few tin cans. 2 years later, Rockefeller made it an official tradition and ordered a much bigger tree. The newspapers called the tree a holiday beacon for New Yorkers and visitors alike. And a skating rink was opened in front of the tree for people to skate. The square became a gathering place and reflection of the events that happened that year. During World War II, the tree was decorated in the patriotic colors of red, white, and blue. In the years following World War II, because of blackout regulations, New York didn't have the money to keep the electricity on all the time, so the tree went unlit. But in the years that followed, as the tradition became more and more important to New Yorkers and American citizens, the tree got bigger and bigger. These days, the tree, which is donated from upstate New York, is always around 21 to 30 meters tall. It takes a long time to find the perfect tree every year, and the head gardener of Rockefeller Center visits tree farms in New York and even in Canada. The tree is then transported using special techniques, to Rockefeller Center, and 50,000 lights are then hung on it. I recommend everyone to go on Google and find a nice image of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, as it was just put up a few weeks ago this year. It looks beautiful, and the square is always decorated very nicely. The live broadcast has famous musicians singing songs, and everyone looks very happy and celebratory. Seeing the smiles on everyone's faces, the snow, and the big tree puts everyone who watches it in the Christmas spirit. All right, that's all for the article. I want to talk about a couple important points. First, as you know, I love history, so let's talk about the history of this tree. In 1931, they finished making the square of the Rockefeller Center. And so the construction workers wanted to celebrate together. So they got a tree from a nearby forest, and they put the tree in the middle of the square. They decorated it. These decorations were very traditional. They used to take dried cranberries and they used to put them all on a string. So if you sometimes see a Christmas tree with those red beads, those used to not be beads. They used to be dried cranberries on string. Garlands of paper. Garland is a vocab word for today, so we'll talk about that. But let me check. It's a wreath of flowers and leaves worn on the head or hung as a decoration. So I guess garlands of paper means like you cut paper into a shape of a leaf, and then you can kind of string it along. I think when I was in elementary school, we used to make, it looked like a chain made of paper. You kind of take a piece of paper and another piece of paper like that and staple it, and then you can kind of connect it along to make a sort of a garland of paper. And a few tin cans. So now we hang ornaments, like, valuable or beautifully decorated ornaments from the tree. But at that time, construction workers in the 1930s during the Great Depression did not have much money. So they just put a tin can on the tree. It sounds a little depressing, but I'm sure they were enjoying winter, they were enjoying Christmas, and they were trying to do something special. I also read that at the Christmas tree is where they collected their winter salary, the salary for the December pay after finishing construction. So it became the tree became the place where they got their money, and they were able to celebrate and go home and feed their families, pay for their apartments or houses, and maybe buy a Christmas present for their kids. So it became a place of great importance in New York City. And every year they continued providing Christmas trees until it became an official event, and the Rockefeller Center now provides the tree. It says that it's donated, but and actually, like, there's a website you can go to where people who own tree farms can show the Rockefeller gardener their tree and invite him to come choose the tree. So I guess every tree farm is kind of fighting to get their tree put on the Rockefeller Center, which I think is pretty interesting. I looked at the type of tree, if you guys are interested, and I think it's called a Norwegian Spruce. Let me check. Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is... So it's called a Norway Spruce. And this year, it's come from Maryland, in the town called Elkton, and it is 24 meters tall. So as I said before, it ranges from 21 to 30 meters tall. Most are like low 20s. So a lot of them are between 21 and 26 meters tall. But in 1999, in Connecticut, they found a Norway spruce that was 30 meters tall, or 100 feet. And that is the tallest one I can find on this list. In 1933, so as I said before, the very first one was maybe just 6 meters tall. Yeah, 6.1 meters tall, or 20 feet, which, that's pretty big, 6 meters tall. But the official one in 1933 was 15 meters tall. So almost triple the length. And then in the following year, it was 21 meters tall. And after that, it's always been over 21 meters tall. So it's very interesting to see the sort of progression of the tradition. It started with just construction workers trying to provide a warm Christmas environment and a way to celebrate the end of their construction work. And it's become an annual event of really amazing spectacle for Christmas decorations. Let's take a look at our vocabulary. So we have 5 words, and our first word is Protestant. Do you remember I said Protestant Christians at the as the sort of history of the Christmas tree? As you know, there are 2 types of Christians, kinda. There's Protestant or Catholic, and a Protestant is a member or follower of any Western Christian church that are separate from the Roman Catholic Church. So not Catholic is Protestant, usually. Number 2 is annually. Annually means once a year or every year. There's also biannually, which means twice a year, or maybe that means once every 2 years. Let me check. Biannually. It can mean both. That's pretty confusing. So biannual means it can either mean it occurs twice a year or once every 2 years. It seems like they really need to make 2 words for that to mean different things. Okay, number 3 is revitalize. So as I said before, John D. Rockefeller Jr., he created Rockefeller Center to revitalize downtown Manhattan. Revitalize means to give something a new life and vitality, to re-energize something. So he wanted to make downtown Manhattan re-energized. So bring in visitors, bring in new people, make it a more lively and vital part of the city. As I said before, garlands is a wreath of flowers and leaves worn on the head or hung as a decoration. So garland made of paper on the very first Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. It's a really nice story. I really like the story of the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center, the first one. And finally, number 5, reflection. Of course, your reflection in a mirror is, the image that bounces back at you. You can see yourself. That's your reflection. But reflection also has to do with thinking. So to reflect on something is to have a serious thought or consideration. So when we talk about the square during Christmas, the square became a gathering place and reflection of the events that happened that year. So they gathered there and they reflected on all the important events and memories. And we do the same thing on New Year's or at the end of December. We reflect on the good memories and the bad memories we have, and we think about our life, and then we make goals for the next year. All right, let's look at our discussion questions. The first question is, would you like to visit the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree? And, as a bonus question, if you went there, what would you like to do? In New York, what would you like to do? So would you like to visit the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree? If so, what would you like to do at Rockefeller Center and at New York? Number 2, other than a Christmas tree, what other Christmas decorations do you know of? Let me know. Number 3, does your country have any special decorations in winter? So I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm really talking about kind of winter decorations. You can even tell me about New Year's decorations as well. So does your country have any special decorations in winter? Number 4, what is your favorite holiday? As you can tell, mine is Christmas. I love Christmas. It makes me very happy, very excited. I love spending time with family. I love opening presents, and it's really nice. And finally, number 5, what would you like to do on Christmas this year? And that's the question I'm going to answer for you. So, as you guys know, my little daughter Hannah is over 1 year old. This month in December, she'll be 1 year and 3 months old. And she's getting older. She's starting to understand more and more. And I'm always looking forward to holidays where I can show her the culture of different holidays that we celebrate in America. So for Christmas, I know she's a little too young to fully appreciate Christmas, but I want to get some presents, wrap them, put up a Christmas tree, hang lights and decorations, hang ornaments, and show her the amazing tradition of waking up on December 25th, opening presents and having a nice breakfast and a great time with family members. So I'm really looking forward to showing her that tradition this year. So Christmas is my favorite holiday. That's what I would like to do on Christmas. I guess that answers question 4 and question 5. But that's my answer. And I'm looking forward to hearing your answers too. And I really hope you enjoyed the story of the Rockefeller Center Christmas Tree. Personally, I've never been to New York, but I would really like to go there one day. I would love to see the Christmas tree, 21, 29 meters tall. And if I could, I would love to go ice skating in the front. I guess I answered question number 1 as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to hearing from you. Goodbye.